Hello, everybody, and welcome to Critically Acclaimed, the newly rebranded Patreon page. Some of you may have been here already when we were canceled too soon, but Witney, Seibold, and I, William Bibbiani, have multiple podcasts, and we wanted to bring them all under one banner.
In fact, with this brand new version of our Patreon page, we're adding a podcast.
We're adding a bunch of stuff, actually.
Yeah, in fact, stick around. We're going to tell you more.
That's right. So, here at the Critically Acclaimed Patreon page, you will be supporting Canceled Too Soon, the podcast where we review television series that lasted only one season or less. The podcast...
None of that, that's the same.
That's the same.
That podcast is the same.
The podcast Critically Acclaimed, where we review new movies and talk about the most important subjects affecting the entertainment industry every single week.
Also the same.
Yep. The Two Shot, where we review two diametrically opposed movies that are connected in some unexpected way, usually one of the best movies ever made and one of the worst. That's every week.
And all of those are going to be free to the public.
Yes.
Those three so far. However,
yes.
We have a few little treats for you subscribers.
So let's run down our various tiers. Now, we've added a $1 tier. At the $1 tier, you get everything that everyone normally gets, the publicly released podcasts. However, you also get to participate in our monthly polls. You get to help pick one Cancel Too Soon show every single month. We wanted to make sure people who couldn't afford too much had something to contribute and could be part of the community. You will also, when we do sweepstakes, you will be eligible for all of those.
Indeed. You're on the list.
Our second tier, our $5 tier, is now the Benji tier. And the Benji tier, you get everything we just described. You get the polls. You also get the Canceled Too Soon monthly movie. If you're new, that is an exclusive podcast where every month Whitney and I review a piece of TV pop culture ephemera, usually a TV movie or miniseries, sometimes a special. It's not quite a TV show that got canceled, but is its own thing, and it's singular and rare.
Yeah, it's something that's not a show. We started this talking about whether or not that should be considered a cult classic, but more than anything, we just wanted to explore TV ephemera, like TV history.
Yeah, there's something people don't talk about enough.
That's what the TV monthly movie is for.
Occasionally we'll talk about something really huge. We've done Lonesome Dove, for example, but also we try to find weird stuff. You also get episodes of The Randomizer. That is a podcast in which Whitney and we review one episode chosen at random of a long-running TV series with which we are not familiar.
Now, it may astonish you to know that we're not familiar with a good number of popular TV shows.
Who has the time?
We've done a few episodes so far, and that will be released, rather fittingly, randomly throughout the year.
We try to do at least once every 2 months or so.
Months, yeah.
But what happens is we try to find someone, an interesting personality, someone who is an expert on the show, to come in and steer us right after we try to figure out from one episode what the heck is going on. And it's a lot of fun. We've done Gilmore Girls already. We just did... What was the one we just did?
We did Psych recently.
We did Psych. We did The Vampire Diaries.
That's right.
A lot of good stuff.
Most recently, we did The Vampire Diaries, and we have more coming.
All right. So that is the $5 tier. So $5 patrons, you get a new podcast. That will be for $5 patrons. The $10 tier, we had the Benji. Now we have the Zax.
I bet you know what the third one is now.
I'm very excited about the Zax because the Zax has our brand new podcast. So in addition to everything you just had, we might also do exclusive videos throughout the year. We haven't done as many of those as we would like. We need to do more. But we also have the Only the Best podcast, in which Whitney and I review every single nominee for Best Picture in history in chronological order. We just hit...
1934.
That's right. And we did the first half of them because there are a ton of Best Picture nominees from the mid-30s to the early 40s. So we're going to do half episodes so that we can actually get to them all. Bear in mind, a half episode for us is still an hour long.
It's still a lot of content. And in addition to Only the Best, we're launching a brand new podcast.
That's right. We have a brand new show. It's going to be bi-weekly at first, but if we can pick up the pace, we might be able to do it weekly. It's called All Our Yesterdays. We are going to review every single episode of Star Trek in production order. That's every single series and all the movies.
I was about to say, not just every episode of Star Trek, every episode of every Star Trek.
Star Trek the original series, Star Trek the animated series, Star Trek the Next Generation, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Star Trek Voyager, Star Trek Enterprise, and Star Trek Discovery, and the movies.
So if this goes on long enough, we'll get to all of Star Trek. But I feel we won't run out anytime soon.
We're fine for a while. We're doing real good.
Given that we bring up Star Trek an awful lot on the show, we figured we'd just give ourselves an outlet. So we're going to review episodes of Star Trek in production order.
Yeah, that's right. So that's coming up real fast. And then for our $20 tier, we have some changes there as well. We are moving our critically acclaimed articles to the $20 tier. That's the Alien Prince. Everyone who joined at the $10 tier already can still assign us articles. That's what you signed up for. It's what you pay us for. We're still going to do all of those.
Right.
That's fine. But from now on, it is a $20 tier. We want to really give that to our big fans. And on top of that, you're going to get Google Hangouts, and you're going to get commentary tracks. Once a month, Witney and I are going to pick a film that is readily available on streaming, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime. Nothing you have to because we seek out the weird stuff. We don't want you to have to invest too much money in it. But we're going to do a free downloadable commentary track for a movie that is readily available on streaming, so you get our fullest insight into the big hits of the day, all-time classics, whatever it is.
Whatever it is crosses our mind, something we might be discussing. We don't want to necessarily have a specific type of movie or be beholden to a certain format. But we do want to provide you with commentary, film commentary, which is something we like to do anyway.
Absolutely. It's what we do all the time. Try to stop us. I dare you. And that is that. If there's something that is missing from a tier that you liked before, we can talk about that. But this is the new format for the next season of Canceled Too Soon, the next season of Critically Acclaimed, the next season of The Two Shot. By all means, follow us on Twitter. We're at Critic Acclaim. We are at CanceledCast. And thank you very, very much for joining us, or if you're just watching this video as a bit of a teaser, for considering joining us. We love producing content, and we love our listeners. So thank you, everybody, and
we'll see you on the flip side.